their rankings, but by no means is this team not a ranked team. They're ready to go and prove it tonight against this Louisville team.
Yeah, it's similar to the ACC tournament, the loss to Louisville, you know, coming out number 2 in the nation and then all of a sudden dropping with a couple of draws against quality sides can be something that sparks you.
They've got quite a few characters from last year's team back. Kyle Gindenbacher, the senior defenseman. KK before, who Chad Riley says is set to have a breakout season at midfield forward. And Matthew Roux, of course, he's not in the starting lineup, likely to come off the bench tonight to start to bring a little bit more of a spark to this offense. Nicely done by Subashan to usurp that ball, and Louisville going for it early with Sander Rowe to the header.
Terrifically organized defensive stand that led to a great attacking transition. You could see as Louisville is pressing the ball, the player on the ball is checking their shoulder, making sure that everybody's connected to them. They get it into a pocket, they get a turnover, they go right to goal.
Our officials tonight had referee Matthew Thompson, assistants Johan Podolski and Sean West, and our fourth official Caleb Riley. The ACC crew brought in for the premiere of the ACC in 2024. And that's something great about the men's game, even though the non-conference schedule isn't done for either of these sides. In fact, there's going to be quite a few midweeks for both teams later on into October even. You get the ACC with an early premier matchup like this one. And the drum line has come out for the Boiling Point. They're getting warmed up for the football game tomorrow against Jacksonville State. So they thought, why not come over to Lynn, get some extra practice on the beats. Here's Guerra.
And that's twice. That's twice. Louisville's been patient. It just sort of forced the ball into manageable pockets and then come out and won it.
JP Jordan, the SMU transfer, yields a foul there, tripping up Nolan Spicer.
Here it is. Watch how the defenders are just shaping play into manageable channels, waiting for either a ball that's hit a little too soft or a little too heavy, waiting for the mistouch, and then ready to pounce. And where the Fighting Irish need to counter that is once they get it out into these spaces here, and you start seeing the red jerseys compress things, got to move that ball across the field quickly.
Movement up to Shaw and back to the midfield. Played forward for Wyatt Lewis. Lewis trying to penetrate into the box here for Notre Dame. It's out to before, and he slips on the wet grass. Now, of course, we had a delay before the kickoff because there was lightning in the area and a whole lot of rain. So, Brad, that begs the question, what does the rain do on a natural grass surface like this?
Well, right there, it just destroyed that play because it was great combination play from the Fighting Irish to get themselves a great opportunity. The thing is, when you're the underdog, you kind of like the rain because it adds this wild card in there that could equalize things. If you're the favorite, you don't like it, but when you got two powerhouses on the field, it's anybody's match.
There's Chad Riley, 7th year at Notre Dame, started at Oberlin College, made his way through the Ivy League with Dartmouth, captured 4 Ivy League titles and 3-time Ivy League Coach of the Year. No big deal. He was also a pretty good player as well when Notre Dame was in the Big East.
Yeah, I had the chance to talk to Blake New today, who's a longtime Oberlin coach, who was the one that gave Chad his first start.
Shaw entry, that one's there for before.
A great ball.
Falls down.
And he talked about how he was the oldest 22-year-old he's ever met. Just so smart, so cerebral, that he obviously had this coaching gene in him.
He only spent a year at Oberlin, and you were relaying some stories about that too, that he, you know, everybody would like, after a long day, like to, you know, take on the town or something, and he said, no, I got to go run and read a book.
Not just run, he said, I got to go run 3 miles and then read a book.
Yeah, it's not a run down the block, right? Nicely done by Jack Lewis, talented freshman at the midfield, got his first goal against Bellarmine on Monday. DeBlasis contact there with before. DeBlasis, one of the 2 freshmen that makes up the 3 in the back with Ola Agunleye. Agunleye, rather. Sorry about that. And, you know, John Michael Hayden clearly likes a certain type back there in the back line. Their average height back there is 6'4".
Yeah, and that's the one thing you can't teach. You can't teach that height. You know, you can teach the jumping, you can teach the speed, you can teach the touch. But if you're looking for a big back line, he found it.
Great ball to Spicer. Really across the pitch. Spicer inside to before. And J.P. Jordan there to usurp him. No foul there.
You're starting to see the Fighting Irish find a couple of gaps. It's that ball that's in that compresses Louisville's back line and then gets the ball back and then trying to move it across the box.
5 minutes plus down, Brad. What needs to happen for either sides to sort of penetrate and get a goal here?
Well, both need to kind of settle in. You saw early on that the Cardinals were just kind of shaping play and then waiting and working out a transition, while the Fighting Irish are looking to build a little bit more and see if they can't draw open some channels with quick ball movement.
Movement in the back here for Kyle Genenbacher, one of the goal contributors against IU just a week and a half ago. Kept alive by Spicer along the sideline. Jordan down in the corner, the short corner. Jones out in front. Great look for Notre Dame, and they score! Irish on the board. Bryce Bonneau.
Wow. It's the run before. It's the run as that ball. First of all, it's a great job keeping the ball in on the touchline, beating your defender to the end line, driving it back across the box. But it was that first run, that first player that slashed through is the one that occupied Jones, and it pulled him out of that gap that opened up the middle. And Jones has to go. He has to bite on that. But that leaves the center open.
Do you think that was a great ruse there by Flanagan to try to draw Jones, or do you think Flanagan thought he might have a shot?
No, absolutely brilliant. That's not a shooting angle that he's at, and he's got Jones, possibly the best defender in the ACC, coming to close him down. The best thing he could do was what he did.
Bonneau's first of the season, all ACC, 3rd team a season ago, ranked tied for 1st on the team in assists, 3rd in points in 2023. He was also drafted by Nashville Soccer Club as the 75th pick overall, but elected to come back to finish his career with the Fighting Irish.
Love that.
Now it's Louisville's turn to respond.
And the part with that, too, you look at that goal, and you can't fault Jones. He has got to bite on that front run. And you can't fault Sellers, because that ball was put perfectly in the corner.
Sellers has only given up now 3 goals this season. 8 saves to his credit, former JUCO All-American. And Matthew Thompson wants to check out Nolan Spicer's jersey. Maybe perhaps has something amiss there.
Yeah, sometimes when there's blood on a jersey, they stop, and it doesn't look like it's coming right now from Spicer, so don't know where he picked it up.
John Michael Hayden, his 6th season with the Cardinals, picked up their first NCAA tournament win under Hayden a season ago. And that thriller against Dayton. The high-scoring affairs didn't stop there for John Michael Hayden. So it looks like Nolan Spicer is actually going to change jerseys to 25.
His pace and that heady play on the touchline, I thought for a minute that ball might have been overhit and was going to run out of play. He caught up with it, and then his first touch to separate from that defender and beat him to the end line was phenomenal.
Well, it's good for anybody that maybe had 25. And Nolan Spicer didn't just take their kid away from him. But no one has 25 on this roster, so good to go.
Yeah, the one thing you do, you always keep, sometimes you call it a blood bag. You keep an extra uniform in there just because situations like that could happen, and you never want to have to pull a jersey off of a dressing player.
That's a little dark, isn't it?
It is. It's dark.
Well, you played professionally in the 90s, so
yeah,
the blood bag.
Tape it up, put some dirt on it, and just keep going.
And then you went over to Denmark, so of course, you got to be a little metal about it sometimes.
Oh, might have got away with a handball, but.
As Shaw, the freshman from North St. Paul, Minnesota. Catching up with Chad Riley, he said we know we need a fast start because with both sides understanding kind of everybody seems to be willing to shoot the ball at the net more, right? We have to be willing to go press and be forward. We've only got 2 matches under our belt. Louisville 3, perhaps that plays an advantage. Shaw off of Jones along the end line.
Yeah, the difficult thing for Louisville right now is you never want to, here at home, give up an early goal and have to play uphill the rest of the match. But the fact that these 2 teams combined for 7 goals last time, 1 ran away with it, 1 caught up, and then 1 won it in the end, neither team's going to be worried about giving up a couple goals early in this match.
A new season, of course, fresh faces, but let's not forget, we keep talking about that match because everybody who scored in that match is back in this one. Before on the corner. Gunlea out of the box to Shubashan and up to Bilal Kamara, the transfer from Limestone. And D2 All-American. Kamara's got a good run at it against Genenbacher. Nice move, but Genenbacher, a favorable bounce.
What a ball.
Great run by Bonneau. Bonneau's off to the run. Got some space. Sellers to save.
What a save. You got the captain coming in on a breakaway. He's already got a goal tonight, so his confidence is high. He actually strikes a great ball. Sellers just reaches the foot out, makes a great kick save.
When we caught up with John Michael Hayden, he said this is a guy who knows how to stop shots, but he's also a leader. You saw as soon as he got that one away and parried it away, he was barking at everybody to get set in position off the throw-in.
That's the crazy thing about keepers these days. Being a good shot stopper is not enough. You got to be a leader. You've got to be a tactician. You got to understand the game at a different level.
Jordan, a good battle in midfield there with Shaw, and Gage Guerra yields the foul there on Bonneau. Worth mentioning that there's been 36 consecutive matches that the Irish are unbeaten in when scoring the first goal of the match. 32-0-4.
That is a crazy statistic.
That stretches back all the way to 2021. In a mid-September match against Michigan State.
Good ball.
Louisville trying to end that streak, perhaps. Subashan back inside. Lewis, good run at it. Played back. Saunders Road wide.
Well defended. Great transitional moment from the Cardinals and a great defensive recovery from the Irish. They got themselves behind the ball and really blocked a lot of the good channels for the Cardinals to play through.
Haven't had a chance to talk about Blake Kelly yet. Stud freshman. You got big shoes to fill when player Lacing was an All-American and a Herman semifinalist as a goalkeeper with Brian Dowd, but he not only has his jersey number, but he also plays like Dowd a little bit too.
I cannot believe how quick this kid is for as tall as he is. The game against IU and some of the saves that he made are not from an 18-year-old.
A freshman from Holt, Michigan. Not terribly far from South Bend. And Chad Riley was more than happy to welcome him. He's been a stud in between the sticks. And a program that has had some seriously talented goalkeepers over the years.
Run.
The ball up forward to Saunders Rowe. That's dangerous. And Kelly, a benefactor of a nice bounce straight up in the air.
Great read by Kelly. Terrific run by Rhodes, slashing run into the seam, into that space behind the back line. Great ball delivered over the top. Kelly off his line is able to read it and make a play on it.
It's part of the Josh Jones fan club that's seated right in front of us. Everybody's got Josh on their shirt, family members and friends. Fun to see. It is also senior day because of the amount of international players that are seniors on this team. Louisville postponing festivities, but still acknowledging their seniors today. International call-ups might happen a little bit later on this season for some of these players on these rosters. Now on the road. To Subashan. Subashan had a goal in the 3-1 victory against Bellarmine on Monday. As did Lewis, of course. Parker Forbes getting the nod at right back tonight. Along the wing and the outside channel at the top of your screen.
Clever
Inside.
ball.
Good look. Subashan finishes. What a goal from the sophomore. And we are level in Louisville.
You couldn't possibly think that the goal wasn't going to be answered. Just the way that these two teams play, the talent that they have. Great response from the Cardinals. Look at that ball. Just played perfectly into the seam. The defender gets a piece of it, but not enough. And it gets past Kelly.
Back-to-back matches with a goal for Ethan Subashan. From Cooper City, Florida. And I think you're right, Brad. You can't just trust that these guys aren't going to try to go for goal every chance they get. He knocks it home, 1-1. Two seriously great goals and setups in the first 14 minutes on the button. Now if you're Notre Dame and Chad Riley, how to answer is the question. Gage Garrett was trying to get in front of that one. Maybe he could play some house money on some transition there. This Notre Dame program captured College Cup and National Championship in 2013, the first time they ever reached a #1 ranking. And they haven't looked back as one of the best programs in the country, but last year they were going to try to make it 2 national titles. But they ran into the buzzsaw that was the Clemson Tigers. Spicer weaving through the midfield. He gets tripped up by DeBlasis, but no call.
A great bit of individual brilliance from Spicer. Same thing that led to the goal. Here he is dancing his way through traffic. Looked like he got fouled a couple times through it, but was able to keep the ball at his feet.
That battle with Before and Sonder Road is going to be fun to watch tonight as well. KK Before, certainly some high expectations this season as well in the ACC at forward. He's going to join a group of ACC players that really are highly touted. Lewis, service in, headed down by the Irish.
That's a good call from Kelly. You know, one, you don't want it to go out of bounds for a corner kick. You've got a defender there first, but now you could be trapped in the corner. Hustle over there, call him off, pick it up, maintain possession.
Notre Dame just trying to get out of its own way in the back line. Jones keeps it alive in the attacking half for Louisville. Subashan, little contact on the sideline there with Lewis. Sophomore and sophomore crime. Well, we've had some time to settle in, Brad, but for you, now it's been a little bit of Notre Dame here, a lot of Louisville here, a little bit more Notre Dame here. What's kind of your read in the first 15 plus?
Well, the first 15 minutes, you know, Louisville was creating opportunities off of repossessions and counterattack. And now they've settled into a little bit more of possession, while as the Fighting Irish have been very methodical in moving that ball around, trying to see if they can create some unbalance on the backside or in a central zone and attack it. So it was two really different styles, but Louisville looks like they're grabbing a little bit more possession at this point. You know, Jones is going to be the target on most of these restarts and corner kicks, not just because of his height, but he's so strong in the air and understanding the run and how to get his body in position regardless of how he's defended.
Road played in, nicely booted away. Oh, jump kick, Karate Kid style by Genenbacher. Played out Forbes with before, and this is going to be a throw in, or DeBlastis rather, with before, and then it'll be a throw in this time for Forbes. Philip Fredhall not in the starting lineup tonight. A little bit different of a wrinkle in the starting lineup with Evan Parker Forbes in there starting, because Fredhall was a big catalyst for the offense over the last two to three matches, which is a welcome sign because he was injured all of 2023. Well played into the box, taking a hit by Jack Lewis and deflected. Road deflected back in play. Kelly saw it in, and Notre Dame will clear.
Brilliant. No hesitation from Jack Lewis in pulling the trigger. No hesitation from Kelly in coming out to collect that ball, even though you got Jones on the other end of it.
Gunlia. Jack Lewis, really impressive what these freshmen have been able to do. Louisville in the teens as far as recruiting class rankings goes. Notre Dame welcomes 6 freshmen in, including Blake Kelly, who probably helped propel them to being ranked 3rd in the nation as far as recruiting class goes for this season. The class of 2028, which is just crazy to say. But no, good run at it. Down to Spicer, and Sellers is there.
Yeah, great help defender from Jordan coming on the backside, just putting a little bit of pressure on Spicer to make sure that he's not able to slot that ball with a great deal of accuracy.
Jordan into Subashan. Down low to Forbes. Watch Forbes the service as well. An outside channel. DeBlastis made a great debut for Louisville. Had an assist from pretty much where the scoreboard lies at midfield to Josh Jones, who's headed it from just inside the 18. It was a beautiful play to start scoring for these guys on the season. Jones lofting down to Forbes. Forwarded there, and backwarded there, rather, to Saunders Road, inside it to Lewis. There's Gage Guerra, 2 goals in the season already. His second season for the Cards, came over from Army as Patriot League Player of the Year. Jordan testing the back line of Notre Dame. Maybe a miss hit there. Guerra still prowling. And Bacher gets that one away. Notre Dame survives that sequence.
Yeah, you can see it from Guerra. I mean, he's the kind of player that as a coach you love to coach because the engine's always running, doesn't give up on a play, and you saw it there. He's also the kind of teammate you want to play with because you want a guy that's going to put everything out there every night to have the team win.
And they did a season ago. Louisville started 5-0. Gage Guerra had 6 goals in 5 matches. I mean, he was well on his way to some serious Golden Boot Herman territory, and until he got a knock on his foot that sidelined him for nearly the rest of the year.
And one of the things that makes him, trouble.
Certainly is. Saunders Road sees his opportunity. Road deflected. Nicely done by Josh Ramsey, the senior defender.
Brilliant defending from Ramsey. He showed him the outside, which gives Kelly a smaller goal to have to defend. So great job in helping him play that for the keeper. And then he takes away the middle. He gives him the outside, takes away the middle, and is able to block the back post so Kelly doesn't have to worry about it.
It's just these little moments that both these teams are seeing. It's like predator prey kind of thing, right? You see him go.
And then it comes down to when that moment presents itself, who executes better in that moment.
It'll be Road on the corner. Assisted Josh Jones on a set piece against Notre Dame in the quarterfinal. His first assist to Jones ever in the regular season to open the year. Might he find him again? Service in, headed down. I think it did rattle off Jones and somebody else's head to favor Notre Dame's back line. And everybody will have a reset off the foul.
And you got a player that is that dominant in the air, you don't necessarily need to draw up something specific. You need to just put a ball into the box that they can go up and get. You got to trust that they know the lane, the run, how to hold their defender off. And you looked at that one, and Jones got a quick release and separation from his mark.
Another foul on the Cards here. Spicer hits the turf.
Yep, head to head. That's one of the things that have taken no chances on. Back when probably when you were playing too, you're growing up. It's just how many fingers do you see? You can keep playing.
Matthew Rue has checked in for Ian Schall. And Jack Flanagan out, which means Sebastian Green is in. Matthew Rue, the leading goal scorer on this team, this Notre Dame team from a season ago. He can put the ball anywhere he wants to.
Yeah, and Flanagan's out, and it's not going to show up on the statistics. That dummy run in the box created that goal.
They should have a dummy run statistic.
There's a whole lot of it. I mean, you take a look at the stuff that defenders do that doesn't get. In runs off the ball to create space, to pull players into spaces.
Jordan gets the foul there. J.P. Jordan, his first assist of the season. So get it over to Subashan. only had 1 assist during his time at SMU. There's a good run from Louisville once again. Down to Saunders Road from Lewis. Road into the box, headed away by Notre Dame.
It's a next level ball. I think it was the outside of his foot just punching it across the box.
Up to Matthew Rue. Rue down to Spicer. Spicer got the beat on Agunlea. Spicer, a good run. Turns back. It's worth through to Bonneau. Good combination right there between 13 and 21. Notre Dame setting up offensively.
Boy, the craftiness and the pace of Spicer just continues to create opportunities for the Fighting Irish.
Down to KK before. Played through. Jones lets Sellers catch up to it.
Yeah, a bit of hesitation. He read it, took a couple steps, did a little stutter step in there, but that's one that's in his zone. He's got to clean that up quickly.
Just over 19 to play in the first half. We've got a good one on our hands so far. Brad Howder, Joey Lindstrom with you on ACC Network Extra. Thanks so much for joining us on your Friday evening. Spicer along the way there. Bilal Kamara knocks it away. The other ACC matchup might be notable. Stanford leading Clemson. Oh, great entry into the box there. It was down inside to Guerra. Just popped up. But Stanford leading Clemson 2-1 at half.
A great ball movement from Louisville to be patient, and when the channel's opened up, knock it quickly, get it out wide, and then a great serve across the box.
Kelly had 8 saves in that matchup against Indiana. Spent some time with Real Salt Lake too. And MLS Next Pro, high level of experience, a mature kid. And Chad Riley just likes the way he was able to step in and step up right there.
Here's the thing about
start.
8 saves. You can have 8 saves that all roll right to your feet and are easy to pick up. You can have 8 saves like he had against IU. Those were 8 saves.
All out for your debut. That's what it's all about. Back inside to Agunlea. The best touch for him. Goes back to the Irish with Matthew Rue. Rue working down to Green. Had to cross into the box. KK Before's there. Before, inside. What a hit!
Wow.
And a goal!
My goodness.
Jacob Bartlett! His first of the year, and the Irish strike back.
What a ball. That's one, you know, it goes back and forth across the box. You're thinking, oh, they just dodged a bullet, they dodged a bullet. But at some point, if you're not able to clear that ball and it stays inside the 18, something tragic can happen, and it did for the Cardinals.
The freshman, his first career goal from Overland Park, Kansas.
Left
What a
foot,
strike.
One-touch strike. Okay, so let me just back up on the count. What's that? 10 goals in the last 120 minutes of soccer.
I think you're right.
Holy smokes.
These two know how to put it away. By the way, Kondic has checked in to the match for Subashan. And Michael Lee has also checked in at the wing.
And we talk about stats that don't exist. Very similar on that play. Spicer impacted that from the very beginning and was the one that actually launched that initial opportunity in and around the box.
Yeah, really created some chaos. And the ball was deflected into the net. A really impressive strike from a freshman. You know, these young players just, year in and year out, they just seem to get better, and the moment is never really too big for them.
Right.
Especially at schools like in the ACC. These programs recruit really high-level kids from anywhere, by the way. Speaking of high level, some high-level speed from Michael Lee. That was a good ball.
Right.
But it ends up in the mitts of Kelly.
Well, you talk about freshmen, it's similar to that conversation we were just having about saves, that there's saves and there's saves. And similarly, there's freshmen and there's freshmen. So you may be 18 years old, but you take a look at a guy, or a freshman, you take a look at a guy like Jack Lewis, the volume of games and the level that he played prior to coming here makes him a non-traditional first-year player.
Jones to parry that one away. Jordan slides to get that one through, but it's played forward to KK before sends one towards Sellers, testing the waters. Final third of our first half. But an impressive go so far for both sides. Jacob Bartlett, by the way, 49th ranked national recruit. Flags up, and Notre Dame's offside.
When you get two great teams, there's opportunities going both ways, and fairly even match on the field. But you look, if Bonneau would have put that ball away on the breakaway, this could be a 3-1 game at the half.
Before, down to Spicer. Spicer, a good look, a save from Sellers. Harvey Sellers has made two impressive saves tonight.
Twice. They're going to bronze that right shoe tonight.
Yeah, great feet from Sellers.
Yeah, and you look at this, the difficult part about this is you're set as a goalkeeper, you're making yourself big, and you don't have the time to dive down. All you can do is throw a body part at it and see if you can kick your feet out in time, but you have to have your eyes open. There's a lot of goalkeepers, when that shot is 5 yards away, the natural human instinct is close your eyes. You got to watch that ball. You got to know where to throw that foot.
I never thought about that. Being able to watch it all the way through.
Well, you look at the position.
Oh, Matthew Rue. Matthew Rue. Josh Jones got a piece of him. No foul.
Wow.
And Matthew Thompson takes his time. And they're going to take another look at this. And rightfully so. Notre Dame might have an argument here.
Right.
What say you?
Well, it's tough because this is a little bit self-inflicted to put yourself in this position. This is a ball that, as Notre Dame is applying a little bit of pressure, it's a ball that, hey, maybe we need to just drive it up the field and reset ourselves defensively. Sometimes when you play with it a little bit too much in the back, or you underhit or overhit a ball, you put yourself in a position where you're going to have to battle 50-50 ball, and then you leave it up to, judgment.
Jones is going, obviously his intention for the ball here, there's no malintent, but you look at where he slides with this is probably the best angle here.
Yeah, the tough part is, if you're Louisville, you're hoping that Jones gets a piece of that ball and that it's all foot to ball, but there's contact.
See what happens with this. Matthew Rue obviously despondent after that. See what Matthew Thompson has to say. No call. So Louisville dodges a bullet there with Jones on the tackle.
And that was a tough ball to play to Jones and to have him handle. You talk about dodged a bullet, but no on the breakaway. This is a 51-49 no call. You dodged 2 bullets. How many more can you do?
Now you gotta answer in this sequence, perhaps, or at least start to pepper Kelly with a few more shots. Forbes played through to Road. Gunlea down to Michael Lee. Another talented freshman brought on for his speed, and that'll come in droves.
All these little probing passes are to see, can we unbalance Notre Dame anywhere? You know, can we find a pocket? Can we find a little bit of space to play? Can we draw them into a place and then move the ball quickly out of it?
Gunlea nicely played through to Gage Guerra. Condich trying to keep that one alive for Louisville. Lewis does so, but it's played back. Nicely done by Nolan Spicer. 14 Fighting Irish players that registered at least a point return from a team that had produced 85 points a season ago.
What a gift that is. You know, you make it to the final and you're returning 14 players that have produced a point for you.
48 assists, by the way. Some serious team game played, and you know, asking Chad Riley the ultimate question, the national championship title game was in Louisville at Lynn Family Stadium, not this stadium. Does that bring back any haunting memories? And he said, no, not really. I mean, this is a team that understands the goal at hand is just to get another win. We know we're going to the same city, we're not going to the same place. And even if we were, this team doesn't have the mentality of letting the old wounds creep back up.
That's good, and that's a great response. And if you're a player, you want to hear that. You want to try and get the emotion out of it. It's a long season, and it is so difficult to get back to that final game in back-to-back years. If you start riding this emotion of getting really high and really low with the big moments and the little moments, you're going to wear yourself out.
Oh, flying through the air was Genenbacher. And he gets up smiling. He kind of liked the little chip there with Lee. And Chase Vasquez checks in for Gage Guerra. There is your summary. A quick multiple of the first number in minutes and then double after that second goal. Just has been back and forth as we expected in this first half. Louisville going to try to put another one home. Nico Bartlett on the pitch, number 8, with fresh legs for Nolan Spicer.
What a great switch. It's a first-year player. Under pressure, in the middle third, knocking it all the way across the field.
McDowd also checked in for Wyatt Lewis. Gunlea got to catch up to this one with before. And back to the Cards. Probably the best way that Gunlea could have played that one before chasing down. Both teams having scored in unsettled situations, Brad. Now with 8.5 to play, how do you approach these final moments if you're Louisville trying to tie this one up?
Well, the one thing you can't do is start throwing so many bodies forward that you expose yourself in the back, because you can't. I mean, we saw the 3-0 lead evaporate last year. But what you can't do is you can't put yourself down too. This game is really manageable. It's within reach for both teams, so you can't get out of defensive shape trying to get the equalizer right now. If the opportunity presents itself, send the bodies, create the energy, make a go of it. But if it doesn't, don't try and force it.
Played down for Bonneau. Bryce working against DeBlasis. Inside for Green.
Good switch.
To Genenbacher and before. One-on-one with Ogunlea, and Ogunlea wins that battle. This Louisville team had their best finish under John Michael Hayden a season ago in the regular season with 12 wins. They get that NCAA tournament win under their belt. They get their captains back. They get Saunders Road back. It's a team built for the long haul. If they can get a lot of these newcomers to gel together. To before, steps on a dime. Lee catches his shoes and gets back on defense.
Yeah, you talked about the speed of Lee earlier. That was great recovery speed, just overran the ball.
To the ACC semifinal before falling to eventual ACC champion and national champion Clemson. There's nobody stopping the Tigers a season ago.
It's not a bad thought. You got a 1v1 situation on the flank. See if you can put it into the space. Let your attacker dart in behind the defender and collect the other end of it. The problem was just hit a little too strong. And that could be one of the repercussions of all that rain. We talked about the field's a little bit slicker after that.
There's the outlook this year for the Cards. What's interesting, of course, having great starts is something that they've been used to here as Chase Vasquez works down to the wing. Picked 12th in the ACC. Yet they're ranked 15th. If that doesn't show you how strong this conference is now with 17 teams in there. Mind you, the conference started with 8 of those 17 all ranked in the top 25.
That's unbelievable buildup from Louisville. Absolutely magnificent.
Caught up to by Michael Lee. Saunders Road thinking about it. Road against Genenbacher. That's blocked. JP Jordan inside. No. Nice touch by Lee. Before slides down. Road is down as well. Headed back. Played through. DeBlasis a shot. And that is out of Lynn Stadium.
We're setting this up before this got into the, the mix and the offsides. The little quick combination play under no space at the edge of the attacking third for Louisville was brilliant.
Nicely done to just try to get entry there. There's Saunders Road. That's a guy you don't want hurt. And he stayed healthy. As Tyler mentioned in the open, 3 away, 3 assists shy of Tim Kubel. He's here from 2014 to 2017, 26 assists. So Saunders has 23 in his career.
And plenty of season left to play. You have to believe you just play his averages through the year that he's going to put this in a place that may be out of reach for a future Cardinal.
He's only a junior, by the way. So if he chooses to stay, he could definitely put that out of reach. We mentioned how Bonneau was picked by Nashville in the MLS Super Draft. Garrett and Josh Jones both picked as well. Garrett to the Timbers and Josh Jones to Real Salt Lake. And both chose to stay because they have the high ambition with this team to go for it in the ACC and the tournament.
Yeah, I love that. There's a lot of factors that play into it. 1, do you want to finish your degree? 2, you built a family, you built a bond with your teammates. You want to try and lift them over the edge. You know, if you're Notre Dame, you got so close. if you're the Cardinals, you know that you're right on the cusp of it, so there's some big things to play for. And, you take a look at a guy like, you see it out here with Josh Jones, you see it out here with Guerra, you see it out here with Bonneau. They're going to have a career after this. And so there's not the impatience of, well, I've only got one shot. Great ball.
KK before. Cross pitch to Sebastian Green, junior from Monterey, California. Just over 3 to play. Cards, maybe a final push. Same with the Fighting Irish. Jordan down to Gunlea.
It's so difficult for the Fighting Irish to trap Road. Every time they start sending bodies to him, you've got either Jordan or Lewis right off his shoulder. The nice release for him is just a give and go to get around the pressing defender.
Jones played down to JP Jordan. Jordan, haven't seen that yet from him. He's been really content to be in the midfield and distribute.
Played a great ball on the Cardinals' goal. Played a great ball through this one. Yeah, a bit ambitious of a shot from that distance at that angle.
Road. Good entry. Back to Michael Lee and JP Jordan. Up to Kondic. Freshman from Slovenia can't hold up with it. But no, good run. Back to before, and he'll work backwards. Lewis.
A little bit of space, good opportunity.
Certainly is. Down to Michael Lee. Working against Gettenbacher. Lee to Vasquez.
I would have liked to seen in that moment, if you're Louisville, would have liked to seen Michael Lee use his speed. He's in a 1v1 without help defending around him.
A minute of play here in the first half. Last charge in the first 45. Coming up at halftime. Do not miss it. Talking ACC all over the place. Good entry there. And some first half highlights and stats. Certainly have a lot to talk about with this game as well. Lofting and out of play. Fans have had a lot to cheer for both sides. Notre Dame fans that made the trip down. I'd say this first half lived up to expectations. What do you think?
Been a bit electric.
Messages for both coaches going into halftime. What say you?
Well, if you're Coach Riley, you've come off of 2 draws. You want to try and put this one away. You've had a breakaway and almost a potential penalty kick. You got to sharpen the guys and just say, hey, we've got to get that third one. We've got to try and get a little bit of distance between us. If you're Louisville, it's, hey, those transitional moments are proving,
A squad in the MLS Academy, but decided to take a more traditional route here for the Cardinals. So great to see them back there for their senior season.
Nicely done, Tyler. It's true. The commitment to excellence that these guys want to have this season, Brad, felt through the rest of the program. When you know some of your best seniors and 2 of your captains are sticking around after they've been drafted, that's pretty special.
Well, as a coach, too, you're holding your breath. You're cheering. You love the fact that your players are getting recognized and they're getting drafted and they've got an opportunity to play pro and fulfill the dream that they've had since they're a kid. But the back of your mind, you're like, oh, one more year. One more year. And, you know, they just answered that little wish in the back of the head and came back. And it's such a relief as a coach to have that level of player back with you.
You know, talking with John Michael Hayden, I don't know how much of a superstitious guy he is. I can't imagine him throwing pennies in a well or anything like that, or a fountain, but I'm sure he was pretty glad to have those
You
hits
do
back.
everything.
And for Chad Riley on that side, having Bryce Bonneau back as well, a little play into the luck of the Irish deal there. He was more than happy to have him back, but he said, dude, you got to do what's right for you.
Absolutely.
And Bonneau actually made the decision that playing another year in college was the right thing for him. Why not try to go for another all ACC honoree and help your team win a national championship? Felt like there was a lot of unfinished business from a season ago. Parker Forbes along the right side. Inside for Sonder Road, taken away by Josh Ramsey. A really key block on a shot from Louisville in that first half. Lewis, a rip.
Wow.
Wide.
Yeah, hits it with a little bit of a tail, so he's going for that upper right corner. Yeah, you talk about Riley telling Bonneau to do what's right for him, and you become so much of a family. You know, you're training together, you're having your meals together, you're on the road together. You really do want what's best for the kids, even if it's going to maybe, you know, knock the program just a little bit because you're bringing in the next player up. But that's part of it, you know. It's part of being a coach. You're mentoring these players. You're helping them develop as people, helping them develop as players. You want the best for them.
Through head in the midfield. Will Schrader is into the match for the Irish. Rue is the striker for Notre Dame as well. He starts this second half. It's going to be important for Chad Riley and Mike Razak and Jeff Rowland to have Rue in there early off the bench. Nearly has a chance here. Rue inside the box. Chased down by Agunlia. Somebody had to be open there and along the sideline. It's Bartlett once again. Bartlett trips up Parker Forbes, and certainly a foul.
And an unbelievable ball to start this play. You've got your player out on the flank. The edge defender slides out to him. They play a ball into the seam behind him, and it's a slashing run that gets in and creates this opportunity.
Kind of a heady play there by Forbes to draw the penalty there, or the foul there.
See, there's another one of those things that's a mystery stat that we're going to create tonight, because it's a corner kick if he doesn't do that. So
certainly,
he's
yeah,
able to turn a corner kick into a possession for Louisville.
Well, Gage Guerra is fighting through the walls of Jericho to try to get to that ball.
That's the thing, you know, we talked about it in the first half. He's a guy that just does everything, just works and works and works and chases, you know, every opportunity to make himself a better player. Sometimes that can be a gift, and sometimes it can be, you know, a curse, because as he's rehabbing from his injury, he's pushing himself to a place where the coaches are having to say, hey, you got to slow down a little bit. There's got to be some recovery.
Good run by Ian Shaw. And Green parries down. Jack Lewis to recover with Sonder Road.
Great look. Same thing that led to the goal from Jordan. As soon as that ball comes to his feet, his head goes up, and he looks over the entire field to see what the options are for him. Brilliant play.
See Michael Lee at the top of your screen. Louisville, of course, moving left to right. In the Reds and Notre Dame in the Road Whites. Played through. Lewis to Sonder Road. Brought up to by Lee. Off the Flanagan mishit. Played to the back three. Just down by Garrett. Flag stays down. Headed back up for Sauna Road and Jack Lewis. Here's DeBlasis. Popped high in the air. Kelly to catch it down. Brad, when you play 3 backs like Louisville is and you're really strong on the wings, for John Michael Hayden, tactically, how does that play an advantage for you, and maybe where does it leave you open?
I absolutely love it. I love the fact that you've got the confidence. First of all, you need the players to do it. You need a goalkeeper that can play with big spaces that he's got to defend. You need 3 defenders that can hold the space that typically teams will have 4. But then you need the wings. You need the wings that are able to come in and help cover when those backs are under pressure. And you've seen it. Teams will start to spread touchline to touchline to see if they can pull apart those back 3. So if you don't have the wings that tuck back in, it becomes really, really difficult. Now, the flexibility that gives you in the attack, those wings get to get forward and add additional bodies to the attack.
That was a nice play by Agumlea. Maybe Ian Shaw will get the better of his foot there. Sebastian Green with a little bit of room down to Rue. And DeBlasis pops that out. Corner upcoming for Notre Dame.
Yeah, there was a tiny moment of a window for a shot. He looked off of it, and Louisville closed it.
Ian Shaw, freshman from Minnesota. It's a knocking home. Notre Dame, one of the best on set pieces a year ago. Jones heads that one out, though. Chad Riley says if we can get to a space where we're running set pieces five times per half, we're in a really good spot as a team. We're really confident off the set piece.
Right. The one thing, too, that Louisville has is they've got Jones in the center, who's just owns that middle zone. So you're either going to have to find a way to draw him out of it with a run that pulls him and unbalances him a little bit, or you're not going to have to serve that ball into that zone. You're going to have to maybe have it on the front side, have it flicked across to the back, or overhit it to the back side, have it put back across the box. But if you serve it in that central zone, Jones is going to clean it up. He's been doing it for 4 years.
And the only time we saw him get perhaps dissuaded, as there's a jersey tug from Sauna Road on Jack Flanagan, certainly a yellow yielded there by the Norwegian. But that first goal from Notre Dame, you said it, Jones did get pulled out of space with that sort of false look.
Right.
I think it was Flanagan that ran across.
Yeah, it's Flanagan, and Jones has to make that run because Flanagan is the most dangerous player at that moment. So you have to take that away. Flanagan's had the presence to let it run across the box for Bonneau, but it's the same thing now on restarts. Can you have a dangerous run that engages Jones and pulls him just a little bit to open things up in the middle?
So Parker Forbes takes his leave for now. TJ Kahoali is onto the pitch for the Cards. Still no Philip Fredall. We were told that he certainly wasn't going to be in the starting lineup, but as far as we can tell, he's just in his warm-ups, so he may be a scratch tonight altogether. One of those secrets that's kept from you, even the no harm done. It's okay.
You never know. It could be, you're not feeling good that night. It could be that, you got nicked up in practice. You never know. There's so many things that go on. These kids have so many things that they're battling with school and the demands of playing this high level of soccer. And to be able to navigate and balance it all is truly incredible.
Shaw. Nobody home, looking for Rue.
Yeah, it was a great turn. Rue was in the right pocket. That ball comes into him. He punches it out wide, and Fighting Irish are going to be inside the 18.
What's the best way for Louisville to turn this match on its head and get back level?
Well, you got to find a way to break down the Fighting Irish in the back third. You take a look. We saw the stats at halftime. Both teams have 6 shots, but Fighting Irish have 5 on goal. Louisville has 1, and the reason for that is that Notre Dame is able to create and break down opportunities in the box where their shots are coming inside the 18 in a more accurate position. Louisville's hitting those balls from outside because they just haven't been able to break through that final third. They need that pass that breaks that back line, that run that goes in behind. They're just missing it. You've had a couple of opportunities, but they got to connect on that and start having a few more shots inside the 18.
Kahoa Lee makes a great run at it on the wing to draw a corner. Saunders Road really well placed for set pieces. Sends that one in for Jones, off the head, no hand call. Matthew Thompson is going to take a look. It was off of Will Schrader, the freshman from Barrington, Illinois. And this will be, it's one of those bang bang plays that just happens so quickly. Right. It's too tough to tell probably in real time as an official. So we'll take a look as well. But this could be pivotal here.
Yeah, as long as we're talking about mystery stats, this is one that, you know, between Jones and Road, they put a ball into a position. I don't think you call that. I think that goes right into his chest. Don't think that changed the play.
So you think that in order for him to call this one, see where his hand, I think it hits his hand, right?
I do think it does, but you know, it's right inside the body. If it's not going to hit the hand, it's going to hit the chest. The ball's going to wind up in the same spot.
Got it. So it has to be somewhat outside of the player box, if you will.
Let's see how he interprets it.
Well, there.
Okay.
There you have a no penalty kick here.
And I do think that's the right call. I don't think you're going to be vilified if you call it either way. But, you know, you want one of those situations that's going to, you know, change the complexion of this game dramatically. You want it to be something that's really egregious.
Nice slide by Guerra to intercept that ball. Away from Jordan to DeBlasis. DeBlasis has great service from outside now.
And look, for Louisville to try and get in the box, there's just white jerseys everywhere. The back line is so well organized. You've got players, as soon as it starts to get on the edge of the attacking third, the white jerseys just squeeze the space. You know, the way you can break that down is, can you get that ball into Guerra's feet? And then he plays a quick ball, so the defenders squeeze the space around Guerra. He plays a ball back to a supporting midfielder. They squeeze again there. That opens up the flanks. Now you quickly play that ball out wide. Guerra spins off his man and then is left alone, or at least in a 1v1. Those are the ways that you can break down an organized back line like this.
Free kick for Saunders Road. I love that breakdown. See if that sequence comes to fruition. Road into the box, played through. Kelly's on it.
It's a nice ball. It's a nice opportunity.
Oh, they're going to call Kelly out of play. But Matthew Thompson says otherwise. They're going to, I think what Sean West saw is his feet out of play, right? As soon as your feet touch, I mean, how else is he supposed to get up?
Yeah, that ball's got to be all the way across. You know, you can see the reaction on Kelly's face. He knows he had the right play.
That would have led to another corner. Right, there wouldn't be anything else incriminating about that.
Right, no, that would have been a
just
corner.
Been out of play. It would be very soccer to have, you know, a pivotal play like that. The goalkeeper ends up trotting out of bounds and it'd be a penalty kick. Something crazy like that.
Love it or hate it, that's one of the great things that VAR has brought, is that those really unjust moments that you can't see in the run of play get found out.
Play through into the box. Green had a piece of it. Good hit on the outside there from Lewis. Wyatt loses that one off the one-on-one battle with Guerra. Kondich gets tripped up by Shaw. Stays with the Cards. Now, Brad, you call Indy 11 games on television, so you cover the USL all the time. When you look at pro players, and you started to describe a little bit winning one-on-one battles, but playing in a team game, just getting guys in good positioning. What do you feel like college players can tend to learn from pro guys when it comes to situations like that?
Well, some, whether it's college or pro, so much of it is just being a student of the game and understanding.
Guerra there.
Understanding situations, when you're isolated 1v1 and you're a pacey technical player and there's no cover behind that pressing defender, take him off the dribble and take him quickly, because the more time you take, the more they can start funneling players in and take away that space. The other part too is you've seen it a couple times here. I've been impressed with Jordan. The ball comes into his feet, boom, head goes up right away, he's looking down the field. If you look down the field, you can see everything short. If you look short, you can't see down the field. So your options increase when you're able to pick your head up and make decisions like that. It's a great look. It's one of those ones, you catch a player right in the seam in between the edge defender and the central defender, and you play that ball into that zone. You're hoping they can just get a touch and put them into an isolation situation.
It's an insightful spot to be if you're Notre Dame. Another great spot to be if you're Notre Dame is back at home in Alumni Stadium. They get done with this road trip. They have 5 matches at home. Of course, interspersed in there are 2 top 5 teams at the moment in the ACC. And they don't get their next road trip until next month.
Yeah, but you pull a lot of confidence when you've got tough teams that you're playing on the road, and you're able to navigate it. They're unbeaten right now. They're winning this one. You come home off that stretch and you're going to be home for the next 5. There's a lot of confidence that rolls into those matches.
13-3-6. Best record in program history. 17 wins in 2013 when they took home the title. Made quite the run toward the title.
Wow.
Oh, Rude just wide of the cage.
This all came off of a great throw-in. The throw-in is into the space that beats the defender. Great ball across. Oh, that's going to be a nightmare. It'll be a nightmare.
Beautiful ball from Lewis inside.
And really a well-struck ball, low on the ground, just a couple inches off.
Amazing with the amount of space in this game. Soccer in general, that sometimes it does come down to inches, right?
It really does. And decisions, just, a micro decision here. The crazy thing about this is you never know which moment's going to define the game. So you can't take any of them off.
DeBlas's service off the chest of fellow freshman Jacob Bartlett. I hope Notre Dame take the 1-goal lead in this one. Road from DeBlasis. Gunlea across. DeBlasis launching. Guerra collides with Kelly. Down to Lee.
Yeah, I like the read from Kelly. Quick off his line to come and get that ball, but that ball has got to be boxed up and away.
Jones tries to feed it through to Green. Green, not even looking at the ball, makes the stop on the turnaround. Kept alive by Kaho'oli. Matthew Rue had a little contact there with DeBlasis, and Matthew Thompson is having none of it. Free kick Louisville.
Here's the key for the Cards right now, and on the flip side, the key for Notre Dame is They're getting the ball into pockets, the Cardinals are, and then you've got it squeezed quickly by 2 to 3 defenders. And if Louisville can break that press and get the ball out, Notre Dame has committed too many players to that space, and there's going to be somebody open. The other part of that, too, is the way that they're committing bodies to it, Notre Dame's winning that ball and able to get out in transition.
Taking a look at that last sequence. Result in this free kick. Road, service. Eyeing for Josh Jones. It's headed down just a bit off from where he wanted it. Road toward the cage again. Too much of a curl on that ball. Well, it certainly started to feel like Louisville was teetering on a goal here. Ola Arntzen has started to warm up as well. He'll add a little bit of bulk in the midfield when he subs on. Both teams equal in shots. Louisville still just the one on goal. Great ball ahead by Kahoa Lee. Better ball out by Bartlett there.
Yeah, brilliant decision by Bartlett. You know, defensively you're out of shape. Go ahead, give the throw in, allow your team a chance to recover.
There's Michael Lee down to Kondic. Slovenian trying to enter the box there. Played out by Wyatt Lewis. It's Kahoa Lee on throw in goes Saunder Road. Louisville been in possession here for quite some time now.
These are the moments too, you know, you sustain a lot of possession, you're in dangerous pockets, you're kind of holding the flow of the game right now. And when you don't convert, when you don't get that ball, all the momentum can swing in transition.
How many knocks at the door can Louisville have before they get their second goal? Minutes into the second half. What's your read so far here, Brad?
You know, you're both excited and a bit concerned. If you're Louisville, you're excited that you're playing well, you're maintaining possession, but you know it's not going to stand. Is that Notre Dame's going to have another win once they collect the ball? So you really got to convert. You got to try and get the equalizer while all the momentum is on your side.
And Bonneau and KK before will check in for Green and Schrader, who both had good minutes, but it's a welcome sign for Notre Dame. Maybe a tough one if you're Louisville, because you know you've been battling here with Notre Dame. You said, "Oh, these guys again."
Yeah, and
they're back on.
The card that's up Coach Riley's sleeve right now is Spicer. He is having an absolute great game, and when he comes in, his pace and his creativity is something that could put this game away.
I think the wearing down that Notre Dame puts you through, certainly something to think about throughout the match. Road, nice touch to Kahoa Lee in the short corner. Held up by Notre Dame. Lewis back outside. Good tackle from Road. Undone there by Ian Schultz.
Yeah, but I like Jack Lewis in that 6 spot. Boy, is he a heady player.
It's been a muggy night after the thunderstorms rolled through and pushed our start time back to 8 p.m. So both teams sweating buckets out there. Up to Matthew Rue. Ahead to Flanagan. Chased down by DeBlasis and forwarding ball to Michael Lee. Lee. Have a hit, Michael Lee wide. Really nice sequence on the break.
you recognize the great job. He recognizes the second defender's laying off. He cuts the ball inside, gives himself a shooting angle, and fires it just a little bit wide.
Ola Arntzen and Ethan Subashan on for J.P. Jordan and Leon Kondic. So you get Subashan on, your goal scorer for this match. Good minutes from J.P. Jordan at midfield. Ola Arntzen, the Evansville transfer. A mainstay in 2 seasons for the Purple Aces. Welcomed back onto the pitch tonight. A little tangle in the midfield there with Flanagan.
Yeah, I like the call. He saw the foul back there, let it play advantage just to see if Notre Dame could build something out of it.
Played through for Genenbacher, the only back out of this group to have a goal. A mainstay in the back line for Notre Dame. Here's DeBlasis. Brilliant touch to Michael Lee on the last forwarding play for Louisville. Sonder Road, Matthew Thompson and this crew are letting them play. You love that. You knew it was going to be a physical matchup, and I think the officials did too. Kahoa Lee inside to Sonder Road. You know, he's been out here this entire match, and he still seems to be getting good minutes up and fresh legs, it seems, even though he's probably pretty tired.
Yeah, I think he, Lewis, Jones.
Entry too long for Shaw to catch up to.
Getting into the final bits of this match, and there's a couple things that both teams have to be aware of. Right now, the organization for Notre Dame on their back line is outstanding, so you don't want to break that. There may be some opportunities to go forward. It has to be one that is going to be a great opportunity for you to break your defensive shape. If you're Louisville, one of the things is you start pressing, you start sending bodies up to get the equalizer. You cannot give that counter-attacking space, because 3-1 right now is a whole lot. I know we saw a lot of goals last year, but 3-1 at this point in the match is going to be really difficult to claw back.
Train conductors are always so happy to give some extra noise here at Lynn.
This is my first time here at the stadium, so I wasn't aware. I have a friend who used to be a coach here on the women's team. He said, he texted me, has the train gone by yet?
Did he really?
Yeah, I said, what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Now I know.
Well, now I know.
Jeff Greer, who calls the women's matches, and we call these men games together. You're so nice to fill in. He loves the train. We were talking about how the conductor is probably a Louisville Card soccer fan. Just trying to give it a little extra juice to the back line, perhaps. One thing that is missing in the second half, the drum line from the boiling point has gone away. They got a big day tomorrow for the football game, so some much earned, much needed rest.
Now, you know how it is, when you're playing back-to-back, you got to have a recovery session. So that drum corps is probably in ice baths right now, making sure the wrists and everything are good to go for the big one tomorrow.
Good touch from Kahoa Lee. Oh, tries to just interfere there with Bartlett. That was risky just from a put your body on the line perspective.
Yeah, so here's that moment right now that you got to be concerned with a little bit. If you're not going to get the chance, you've got Jones that have up into the box, and I know he's dangerous in those moments. You unbalance yourself a bit defensively. So right now, Louisville cannot afford an unforced error.
You pushed Ola Arnson toward left back. He gets service here. Kahoa lead toward the box. Held up by Rue. Great ball to Flanagan, but it's caught up first by Michael Lee. Road. Through ahead, Supershot. Ethan Supershot. What a save from Kelly. Ethan Supershot's eyes got about this big, ready to go for two on a brace. Would have been his first of his career.
Yeah, it was a great couple touches to get himself freed up across the top of the box. I think the opportunity was back post.
Good contact from DeBlasis and KK before. DeBlasis had something to say after that sequence and get your team fired up along the bench there for Louisville. They'll send one toward the cage, toward Josh Jones, wide. Jones has hit one from about there before, so nervy moment at least for a split second for the Irish.
Yeah, and I love the gamble on Louisville's side right now. Oh, look at this.
You get Nolan Spicer.
He's having a game. He's having a game tonight. But I love the gamble here from Jones, from Louisville, saying, look, we're going to put you up. We're gonna risk it a little bit, expose our back line, but that's what this game is about. It's taking chances. You can't get everything. Every time you reach for something, you have to give something else up. So Louisville says, okay, we're going to put Jones up. He's a great target for us. He's a good finisher. He's a good target. We're going to put him up front. We're going to grab that. What do we have to give up? We got to give up a little bit of our defensive integrity.
Great ball from the Blasters to Kahoa Lee. TJ working in the box. Kahoa Lee gets deflected by Ramsey. Ramsey's had a couple of those off the back and off the chest tonight.
A great second defender action from Ramsey as that ball's coming across the middle. He steps into the channel and absorbs the shot.
Watch this sequence here. DeBlasis gets away with a shove there. Matthew Thompson says, next time, get ready if you do that again. Just checking him. Or maybe one that should have been called in the moment, rather than just out of play. Lewis across the way to Michael Lee. Inside, Guerra. Oh, too tall.
And we go back to the point we referenced on the statistics right now is that there's so many white jerseys back behind the ball that Louisville can't find that penetrating pass into the 18. So all the attacking moments are happening outside the 18 or right on the edge, and that's giving manageable shots to Kelly or difficult shots for Louisville.
And that's one thing that Chad Riley implored to us. He said, look, Mike Grazak coordinates a lot of our defense, being a former goalkeeper. He knows exactly where to clog those spaces. He's really just tightened it up a little bit.
Yeah, one of the great things, and it's a statistic that I've seen a number of times, is you may have a lot of saves as a goalkeeper, but if your defenders are giving you very manageable opportunities, because there's shots from distance, you've got the time to get yourself organized, and you've got the time to adjust to the ball. Hey, those lot of saves, give up the shots. That's fine. Give those shots up from 20-25.
Good run from Guerra to try to catch up. Bartlett skies this one away.
Yeah, that was a great play by Guerra. I think he had a little hidden jersey tug there to hold the defender into space, turned off, peeled off, and separated.
It's one of those things, go back to your point about goaltenders and eating shots and what have you. Saunders Road gets some contact there with Bartlett. It draws more of the story out of soccer, which is what I love about calling the sport, is because you learn so much more about, hey, if the goalkeeper's saving a lot of shots, maybe the back line is a little bit amiss. But if he's not, maybe the back line's really tight and really good.
Right. And that's where there's so much context that needed, because, you know, like we talked about the 8 saves versus 8 saves. You know, so if they're easy versus really difficult, it's very different. You know, if I get 200 shots in the course of a season, but they're all very, very manageable, that's different than getting 150 shots inside the 18.
Well, Jeff Greer had coined the phrase as murderer's row for this next few games for Louisville. Might be a little harsh. We're in Butchertown after all.
I don't know.
But you go to Kentucky, who is right behind you in the rankings. Battle of the Bluegrass always seems to mean more.
Yep.
You get Pitt, you get Syracuse at home. UAB is a tough out. This doesn't get easier for the Cards. But luckily you get some of those at home. By the way, Sean McDowd in for Jack Flanagan, Notre Dame, who's on the run. It's Matthew Rue, blocked away. Agunlea, the freshman, sliding and stepping up for the block.
What a great block. Jones had him occupied as the pressing defender.
That ball's well out. A road to catch up to, but it'll be a throw in for Notre Dame.
What a battle tonight. You know, Louisville right now is scratching and clawing, trying to get the equalizer. Notre Dame is looking for that final nail in the coffin.
It's interesting here. Mason Tadafu, who had some brief minutes early in the season against Tulsa. I shouldn't say early in the season. We're still early in the season, but we're already in ACC play, so I'm a little tripped up. He is warming up. That'll be helpful in the back. Could also mean a change in shape too. But here's Guerra.
What a turn.
Beautiful turn. And he's got wheels. Gage Guerra toward the net. Off the crossbar and down off Saunders Road.
What a brilliant ball across and a great run by Road. Just unable to convert.
And Matthew Thompson's going to take a look at this.
Oh, if you're a Louisville Cardinal fan right now, you are holding your breath.
Tell the fans at home what we're looking for.
Well, looking to see if that ball crossed all the way across the line. When you take a look at it, when it hits the bottom, sometimes it comes down in and bounces out, and it happens so quickly that in real time it's difficult to see. In this one, I don't think that was the case, but you got to take a look at it with a game this important. No, it hit and bounced out.
Yeah. It seemed pretty clear.
Yep.
Yeah.
What a ball by Guerra. I mean, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white jerseys, and Kelly. You got 7 Notre Dame players inside the 12, and Guerra is able to slot that ball through, no space, and Road is able to make a run to the exact correct place to get a foot on it. Absolutely brilliant play that got unrewarded.
And for two guys who only played probably 12 matches together a season ago, pretty impressive chemistry.
Oh my goodness, that was such a beautiful buildup.
Because they both traded injuries and absences, and to have that sort of chemistry and only 12 matches played together, pretty impressive. And these guys going to battle.
Yeah, and it was the touch from Guerra out on the wing, the one ball to separate and use his pace to get past the defender, and then the ball slotted into the only lane available to him.
No goal is the call, which after looking at it again seems like the right one. Game of inches, right?
Oh my goodness.
A couple times Notre Dame could have gone for a 3-1 lead, and now Louisville with a chance to equalize.
Now you look at the game of inches, you look at the 2 kick saves by Sellers in this in the first half. This game could be 4-1 right now.
DeBlasis inside to trying to look for Ethan Subashan. to Agunlea. Beautiful night here in the Derby City. Notre Dame and Louisville. Fighting Irish were ranked number 2 to start the season. They've dropped out of the polls after drawing their first 2 matches. Regardless of how you feel about that, this is essentially a ranked matchup. And Notre Dame still receiving votes.
Look at the wings of Louisville. On touchline to touchline, they're doing whatever they can to try and pull maybe the edge defender out a little bit and open up some gaps between this disciplined Notre Dame back line.
Lewis down to Kaho'ali. Really good on the ball today as Kaho'ali. Inside to Lewis. Played through to Arntzen. And McDowd parries that one away. It's Nolan Spicer at center circle. Agunlea. It's the foul from Matthew Rue. Matthew Rue gets the whistle.
Inadvertent, nothing malicious in it.
Ball played ahead. Kaho'ali, beautiful touch to just keep that in bounds there. Bartlett knocks it away. Into the box toward Jones. Kelly is there. Jones had to fight through some contact there with Genenbacher to try to get through.
Here's that chess match between the two teams. Can Jones up front equalize this game, or can Notre Dame take advantage of him being out of that back line and put the game away?
Matthew Rue had the chance here, but it's KK before, and DeBlasis a tackle. No whistle. Subashan. Good move by the sophomore.
Unbelievably quick feet. His feet made 3 decisions inside of 2 steps.
That's a quote of the night. DeBlasis toward the cage. Well, Kelly had to at least think about it.
That's one. You know, you just are thinking, I can't let this one go, because if that ball goes out of bounds, you can milk 30 seconds, 40 seconds off the clock. But if you're unsure, you cannot let that ball go through.
Kept alive by Bartlett. Played down trying for the wing there for KK before. And a substitution. Mason Tanafu checks in for Ola Agunlea. Let's take a look back at how we got here. It was Notre Dame's Bonneau that knocked it home for the first goal. Ethan Subashan equalizes. Notre Dame gets that goal from Bartlett off the deflection. Really impressive stuff from this Notre Dame squad. Now Louisville has had a few chances. Markedly the one that happened about 5 minutes ago. The Saunders Road off the feed from Gage Guerra. Do they have another one in him? There is Guerra.
There's a ball through to Michael Lee.
Road finds him in the corner. Lee played back for Ethan Subashan. As he enters the box, nice move. Subashan through, nobody home.
And that's the one, you know, you've danced through 3 or 4 players. You know you've got Jones up top. You're just going to put it inside the 6 and see if he can find it.
Crowd here at Louisville counting down Blake Kelly on his goal kicks. Arntzen down to Saunders Road. Both teams on full tilt. Frenetic pace here in the final 10 minutes. Gotta imagine that both teams have some seriously tired legs. Less for Mason Tadufu, who just checked in. Nice save by Kaholi.
That's a big moment. That's a 30-second moment. Right now, Louisville is asking questions of Notre Dame's back line, and Notre Dame's back line is answering every one of them. They're going to have to complicate that question to see if they can find a one that Notre Dame cannot answer.
Lewis forwarding ahead there. Genenbacher. Notre Dame gets Duquesne at home next. Tadufu, service. Genenbacher was giving Jones all he could handle in the box. And Kelly ropes that ball in. Some final pushes here for Louisville. I know we haven't had a goal in the second half, but it's been on full tilt chaos in a couple instances, Brad. It's been fun.
Absolutely great second half. You look at the tactics of it. I mean, if you're a pure soccer fan and you're digesting what each team is trying to do right now and the gambles that they're taking and the risks that they're putting on the table, you have to be impressed.
Subashan to Tadufu. Lewis moves up. Everybody up in red. Lofted. Bartlett there to keep it. To Subashan, back to Rode. Rode curling, almost a bicycle from DeBlasis. Kept alive. Michael Lee is saved from Kelly. Blake Kelly, unflappable in cage.
Tougher than it looks when you've got that many bodies inside the box. Your vision's going to be obscured a little bit. And then you're always wondering, is it going to nick off of somebody and I'm going to have to react to it? Great save by Kelly.
It's Kaholi on the bicycle attempt there, by the way, instead of DeBlasis, but regardless, really impressive athletically. If he was able to get that one to go, I think
this place would have exploded.
Roof over the pavilion here would have come apart.
The train would have come back. We would have had a couple more whistles. Everything would have happened.
Ahead to Bonneau. The goal to open before. KK. Back through. Good moves from Rue. Rue. Sellers there. Here you go if you're Louisville in the final 2.5.
You got to see if you can send a few bodies up before Notre Dame can get back into their defensive shape.
And that one played out along the end line.
Not a bad idea, but right now you got a little bit of that frustration. You cannot see space. You cannot see pockets and channels to play in. So some of these balls are just hit it into a little bit of a window, and let's see what can happen on the other end of it.
Lee, a good header back toward midfield. Spicer, how good and technical he's been, and speedy. Works down into the corner, try to chew some clock. And on a play. Got to go here for Louisville, Brad.
80 seconds. It doesn't sound like a lot of time, but it is. They are going to have a couple more bites at it, but they're going to have to try and unbalance the back line. And right now you're going to get very, very soft pressure from Notre Dame, so there cannot be an unforced turnover at this point.
Rode down to Subashan. Good touch. Subashan kept alive in the box. Jones up. Kelly secures.
That was the opportunity they were looking for. You got the big man on the edge of the 6. You got a ball popped up into traffic.
And Matthew Thompson waving on the last substitution of the night for each side. Bilal Kamara will check in for Louisville and Stevie Dunphy in for Notre Dame. Break down that last sequence, Brad.
Right, you look at it, and we talked just briefly before that. You cannot have the unforced error. There's a ball that Rowe drives out wide into some space. They bring it down. They knock it into the box. You've got Jones in there, who's unbelievable at winning balls in the air. You get the ball that pops up right in there. Kelly reads it. Kelly comes out. Kelly collects it.
Blake Kelly, the first freshman to start an opener at Notre Dame in 30 seasons. Do you know how good you have to be for 3 decades to go by before a freshman started?
Right, and it's not just that you're coming in. You're coming in for a team that was in the final last year.
Yeah. Chad Riley was still at Notre Dame when he graduated in 04, and a freshman hadn't started an opener in all his 4 seasons before he came back to his alma mater, and now he changed history in that program.
Well, that speaks to what he's seen in Kelly.
Really impressive stuff tonight. 45 seconds now. Get a full pitch press if you're Notre Dame, or Louisville rather, I imagine.
Everything right now has got to be just send it forward.
See if they can. Can Notre Dame hold on? These two teams, some really memorable matchups and plays over the last few years. The Blassis trips up Spicer. Nolan has been really helpful for this Notre Dame team. In many ways, he had an assist. Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, roll in to Lynn and take down the Cardinals. 2-1.
Unbeaten. What a great game. And Chapter 1, the ACC tournament, goes to Louisville. Chapter 2 goes to Notre Dame. I am right now wishing on everything I can